So, Anfisa, what is one word that best describes who you are as a person?
Mm. I think it's passion because whatever I do, it's with passion. Otherwise, I will not do it, or I will be delaying it, or not really
Yeah,
willing to do. So, of course, modern pentathlon is my passion, and it's my work and my life as a former athlete. So, it's not only in sport. If I uh, organize a party for my friends, I do it with a passion.
passion. If you're with
Uh,
family, you do it
yeah,
with passion.
yes. It's and I think this word also gives me energy. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about who you are, your uh, your full names and the countries you're from.
Okay, I'm Anfisa Kasyanova, um education and project manager in the UIPM. I'm former elite pentathlete in modern pentathlon, competing for Belarus. I was elite athlete, although I didn't participate in Olympic Games because I was always number 3, number 4.
Yeah,
So there was a chance to qualify for London Olympics, but it was hard. And at the same
yes,
time, uh, I won the grant to master degree in sport management. So it was the year that I had to decide if one more year I do pentathlon and try to qualify for London, or I switch to education and to
yeah,
career to start to build up my career. So I did like all these pros, cons,
yes,
and I
yes,
decided that yeah, I will go to this direction. I will do my master degree.
yes,
Uh, I live now in Greece from since 2015.
yeah,
Because my master degree I was doing in Greece, so there I met within the studies my husband current. I have a daughter, 7 years old.
yes,
She's also doing sport. She's doing
yeah.
football, but also participating in different running events. And 1 week ago, she did her first triathlon,
Okay,
running, swimming, and laser run. During Bicycle Tricycle National Tour in Tbilisi, we had small holidays and we decided to try. And she will now 6 months focus on swimming, on training to
mm.
go to Bicycle Tricycle World Championship. It will be also in Egypt in
Wow,
October. I also
yeah.
in UI, yeah, this is about me.
Yeah, that's really really interesting. But when did you start? Which sport did you originally begin with?
Yeah, I will tell you. Originally, I was a swimmer doing swimming, but I was in a
Yeah.
small city and we always didn't have water in the
Okay.
swimming pool.
Yeah.
Either it's a swimming pool under renovation or there is no hot water. And we were doing a lot of athletics and a lot of
Okay.
physical exercises, conditioning. So, and I have a good genes in running from my father.
Yeah.
He was good in athletics. So I was also like doing swimming, was always participating in athletic competition in running, one
Yeah.
kilometer, 1.5, 2, in town level, then on regional level, and then even on national level. Uh, just before joining Modern Pentathlon, I won a national youth championship in athletics on 1 kilometer.
Hmm.
It was the result I remember always. Is
Yeah.
3 minutes 2 seconds.
Hmm.
I was quite good in running, but not good in swimming, and this was
Yeah.
the reason I quit with Modern Pentathlon.
Do you feel swimming is one discipline that majority of pentathletes come from?
Yes, it's
And why do you think it's the reason?
because it's more difficult to learn swimming when you are adult. So,
Yes.
although there are cases like Stephanie Cook, the first Olympic champion in modern pentathlon,
Yeah.
she started to do pentathlon in being adult, and she didn't know how to swim, and she
Swim.
became Olympic champion. So
Yes.
it also depends on the coach how he or she will
She
teach
can-
you swimming.
Yes.
Although my technique was not good in swimming, and the
Yes.
technique came from the youth age,
Yes.
and I couldn't change it. Although I was changing coaches, I was trying and keeping changing coaches. I was from swimming. I was even asking, being adult when pentathlon doing, but it was very, very difficult for them to change, improve my swimming due to technique.
So was out of the 5 disciplines, was swimming your hardest, most
Yes.
challenging?
And when I was trying to qualify to Olympic Games, the rules changed in UIPM, and now it's changed back. So
Yes.
swimming became even more valuable in terms of points.
Very
So
true.
now I think it's 10.
It's equally.
Yeah,
I
but
think all 5 disciplines are
yeah.
equally have
So,
equally good
but the
points.
best was, of course, running.
Running,
I did pentathlon with 3,000 meters running, and
Yes.
also I did some years with combined event, we called it. Now it's laser run. So like 3,000, I did 10 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah, so it's just pretty
That's
good.
really. If you look at the sport and how it has developed now and how it has changed, what discipline of the 5 do you think is the most challenging to athletes, and why, according to your own perspective?
Well, for now, obviously, obstacle is the most challenging because you need to change all your training process now, because obstacle discipline need
Concentration.
a lot of concentration and a lot of training. You need to, if you don't have obstacle course, you need to
body strength.
Yeah, strength. You need to spend hours in gym. Or I talked to some obstacle course athletes, like who compete just in obstacles. I had a chance. So yes, they spend a lot of time in the gym. But we have other disciplines, so this is now
A change of strategy.
yeah, and as I see, this is now the area of responsibilities of coaches, of pentathlon coaches. They need to change the strategies for planning of the overall training process, to see how new disciplines to combine, like
Yes.
with obstacle. Because for horse riding, it was easier to put it to the training process when you have horses. Of course,
Yes.
you train 2-3 times per week.
Yes.
Where many athletes were doing horse riding on weekends, like they on Saturday, where I was competing, we were doing in Sundays. Like it's day off, we don't have other trainings. We go and train just riding, so it was easier to combine. But now you need to do something for obstacle discipline every day.
What's your experience been like when working under UIPM and your position? And tell us how you got that position, and because you told me you started as a volunteer and then eventually you picked up, and how has it been over the years?
It was not started as a volunteer. I mean, I was just volunteering in sport a lot.
Yes.
I was not volunteer in the games or some competitions, but just doing volunteer work, helping. So it was my dream when I was asked to work in UIPM, kind of maybe not very like a goal, but a dream. And athletes who were competing with me those years from different countries, they were also like telling me, your place is there in any role. It's maybe not in office, in some commissions, that when you finish career, you need to be there. Why? As I said, I'm from Belarus originally. I was competing for Belarus, and I knew English. So, and that days, it was 2002, 2012, 2011 when I was competing. Internet technologies were not so popular, so it was not so easy to use Google Translator and translate things. So I was helping a lot of nations with translations. And this is how I was noticed by different people inside the UIPM family. So they knew that I am the one who can contact coaches, athletes wherever they need, again, we didn't have so developed internet. Sometimes it was phone calls, but I was always available and ready to assist. So after I finished my career and finished a master's degree, I used to work for several national federations, and then new management, like by that days new people came to UIPM, Secretary General Shani Fang, and she also knew me as an athlete, and President Klaus Schormann, he knows me from being me 14 years old, so from my first competition in 2002. So they knew me, and they invited me to join the team. I work remotely. So from 2017 I started as a development assistant. I was pregnant that time, so I took it easy, slowly. I was just doing some Excel files, filling in diplomas, assisting in development area to development manager Maxim. But this was, I remember this day when I received offer that they invite me to work within UIPM. It was 7 or 6 of January. I remember it's like after New Year, just sitting with my family, with my husband, my and husband sister for family lunch. Can you believe this? Can you read what
it was exciting. It was
interesting. Because I didn't even think, we didn't have such discussion before. Also, we met at different competitions. I was involved in some few projects linked to coaches conference, coaches like contest of, but again, I did it voluntarily, and I was not asking, please hire me. But they knew, everyone knew that I want to work and contribute to the sport. So I was very respectful. I had the respect to those people who invited me, who contributed to my career development.
So what's the difference between when you are an athlete and you had school work to do, you had to study education while being an athlete and traveling and competing, compared to how would you balance that as an athlete, working and studying, and how do you balance working and family life? What's the difference between the two? Could you take us through both phases?
I don't think there are big differences. You just always need to balance your life, no matter what you do. Especially if you're active, you have different roles, different hats. So when I was athlete, I was always athlete who not only was focused on sport. So I remember my teacher told when someone athlete asked a question when I was speaking public. Okay, this is a similar question. So she said like that. She helped me to answer the question, to be honest, that because I was doing other activities, like I was making plans for different school celebrations, I was organizing these festivals in the schools, not linked to sport, although I was studying in the sports school, so we were having like summer festival, New Year's parties, so I was different concert, I was organizing it, so like a scenario plan writing, assisting teachers, and many my colleagues, schoolmates, they were like saying, why you're doing it? Coach was always upset and angry that I am not focused 100% on sport, that I do something else. But this teacher told me, no, this was your area of relaxation, like from training I switched to other area, and this is how I was finding my relax and energy to go back to training. So this is how I think I was balancing when I was athlete. I also had a few years when I already finished school and university, and I started to work. And I still was doing Modern Pentathlon. As I said, I was trying to qualify for London. Yes. So there was like 1.5 years, and I went to work to Sport and Olympic Museum in Belarus. But this was good. I had a good senior management, and they allowed me to balance. So in the morning I went to training, then I was coming back to museum. during the workshop, there was not enough time to explain all my career development and how I did it. So that's why I was telling to the audience, to athletes, just key points that they can follow in order to build their career. And let me also share now with online. So of course, what is important in career development, it's like if you want to achieve some profession, some role, it's passion in this area towards this role. It's also not to be afraid and volunteer in the beginning, do a job without payment, make connections. Talk to people, offer people assistance, ask how are they, ask about their culture. Like this you will learn and also you will show respect. Also education is a key. To work in sport administration, sport management, if for example people want bachelor, can be any. But in order to have more assets, master degree is even better, or it can be just postgraduate courses or some learning courses on sport management. Also, of course, don't be afraid to ask. You can receive no, but it's not bad. It means that this is area of improvement. You can even ask the person who told you no in polite way. You can ask what I can do, what you will advise, what can you advise me to do to improve to next time receive years. Of course, don't, as I already said, don't give up on your dreams. You can several times fail, but then you will do it. And last but not least, maybe it's not so obvious, but it's even more important nowadays with current technologies and very changing pace in the world, is lifelong learning. So continuously learning, even if you have masters, even if you have PhD, you still need to learn other areas in order to have general understanding how companies work or different new programs in technologies. Nowadays, ChatGPT is must to learn in order to use it efficiently, not just try to make your life easy. No, try to make your work more efficient. But this you need to learn how to write down correct prompts or efficient, as I said, prompt. So these are some advices, key advices that I say to young generation, from my personal experience as an athlete who did a transition to work in sport administration.
That's very, very interesting.